Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So we got to talk about KD, guys, and Coach Bud getting fired. As now KD has been labeled as a coach killer, and that narrative didn't really start until around the time he arrived in Brooklyn. Because you think about OKC playing under Scott Brooks, a lot of that time, and um, obviously Steve Kerr is still with the Warriors. So that narrative wasn't one that was on KD until after that time, right? But one thing rings loud in my head when I think about hearing this. KD um, once said that LeBron has a toxic environment, which is one of the main reasons he didn't want to go play with him. And so when I look at KD, he's played for one more coach in his career than LeBron James. So we talk about toxic environment. If KD, whatever he meant by that, it is now viewed like that with him. Thing is, LeBron is able to choose when he stays and goes with an organization, even at the age of 40. Whereas KD is now in the phase where he's getting traded around and everything. Now let's get into what was said, because Paul Pierce went in on this. Nick Young, let's check it out, guys.
Thank you.
Paul, KD a coach killer?
I hate to say it, and not in a negative way, but he really is.
Glad
He
you
is a
started with Paul.
No, seriously though. But that's what comes with guys like KD, because when you have a guy of KD's caliber like him and LeBron, expectations come with them. So as a coach, if you don't fulfill those expectations, you're always on the hot seat. And that's why you've seen so many different coaches for LeBron and also KD. But there's only a few guys that you could put in that category. And those two are the guys. But he's definitely a coach. Because you look up, he has, in 17 years, 8, 9 coaches. It's just expectations come, and rightfully so, because of who KD is, to where if they don't perform at a certain level, then they bring in somebody else in. It just is what it is.
Chad also saying Houston as a potential option. Would you roll with KD?
I don't know, man. Everywhere KD been going, been fucking the whole team up. So I don't know.
Man.
I don't.
No, it's not fucking the whole team.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
The whole team. Think about it, from Brooklyn to.
That was the whole team.
Yeah.
He came in with a team.
And what happened?
They all got hurt.
Yeah.
They only
Like
played
I
13
said,
games
every
together.
team has been fucked up.
Golden State wasn't fucked up.
I wouldn't want to go. I would rather go back home than go somewhere else, and this shit don't work out. Then it just look like another.
Where is back home though? OKC or
OKC?
Golden State?
Yeah. Because if I go somewhere else and the same thing happened, at some point I got to be the problem. I feel like
you're the problem.
And a lot of times Nick Young takes B out there, but I gotta agree with him on this one. For whatever reason, you could blame it on injuries, you can blame it on this factor, that factor. But when you become the common denominator, you're gonna have to just look at the culture around the team. I remember they wanted James Harden. James Harden didn't want to be there. I remember Kyrie was out, during the vaccination time, and KD was out there by himself, and then he had a toe on the line and didn't beat the Milwaukee Bucks when they went on to win the title, and a lot of things happened, but that was your window right there. You supposed to go ahead and beat the Bucks so you can go ahead for the title, but it didn't happen, and that in the NBA, a toe on the line can be the difference between an underwhelming season and you actually getting a chance to reach your goal. KD at this point, I'm gonna say this. I feel like when you start changing teams so much, because he's supposed to be a guy. You see how Steph is in Golden State. He's supposed to be revered like that in Oklahoma City. I think him and Russ get the Warriors. The very next season, they lost a 3-1 lead. And probably win 2. They might have an opportunity at 2 titles in that time frame. But KD was out the door, and obviously Russ' decision making, all that was frustrating at times. But I think they had what it took. I think they would have got them a title. And if he would have got that title, that one would be more respected than any of the Golden State titles that he got. So I think he was just out the door a little too fast. I think they get it done, man. And not only that, I think Kevin Durant plays his career out there. Maybe you never get SGA. Maybe you never have this team you have now because of the sustained excellence of KD. You never trade for Paul George for, for him to be an asset to acquire a SGA. And so I understand that these things changed the course of everything that happened after that. But again, I think they have a title, and you can always justify changing everything if you can at least get one championship in the NBA, because that's so hard to do. If you can, when you draft a player, how many players get drafted and they never bring their team a title? So if you just get one, that's cool. That justifies every move that was made, right? But yeah, man, as I look at Kevin Durant and at this stage of his career, you know, Houston, do I bring him in there? No, I don't, because I want Cam Whitmore, some of those guys. All right, so I would bring KD in if the only person I had to trade was Jalen Green, like how inconsistent he could be at times and how he's just really a scorer for the most part. If I could trade him, because they have, like, Amen Thompson is gonna be that guy as he continues to get better, and I like having Cam Whitmore and some of those other guys. I would part ways with Jalen Green for KD, maybe, at this point. Let's see. OKC, we just have to wait and see what they do, right? KD coming back, winning there. I know it's a mixed bag with OKC fans. They like, nah, you left and gave everybody else all your prime years. We don't want these years now that we're number one in the West. We don't want you to come back to that situation and win, or have a potential to win. We good with SGA right now. And then there's some fans saying, it'll be a storybook ending to his career. I don't know, man. I don't know, like, where would y'all like to see KD land? I just look at what he is now. He can get you some buckets, but his impact, he's nowhere near the defender and stuff he was when he was in OKC and all that. He's a lot older now, and he does very little to impact the game like he used to. He can score, and he's a good offensive player, but what else? What else is KD bringing to you at this point? But I guess if you have a team where that's a need, just some buckets, it'd be nice to get KD at this point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.